Hello, and welcome to my Spotify playlist. I will be presenting to you a song, and then we will be seeing the goodiness level of this song, starting with All Falls Down. Already, he has presented much uh, interest into the lyrical prowess of himself, this Kanye West, referring to Chi Town, aka Chicago, South Side, South Side, aka the South Side of Chicago. Let us continue. Mm. He then goes on to say West Side, West Side, West Side, citing the West Side of Chicago. May we continue? The lady he's talking about has no idea what she's doing in college. That being a particular reason for which she is self conscious. That is insecure. He rhymes insecure with secure with career with here? Now tell me that ain't insecure. The concept of school seems so secure. Sophomore 3 years ain't picked a career. She like fuck it, I just stay down her and do her hair. Very, very interesting. Now these lines are interesting. Cause that's enough money, referring to the money from her job doing hair whilst in college, to buy her a new pair. Oh, correction. To buy her a few pairs of new Airs. Airs being shoes such as Air Force Ones or other shoes, typically by Nike. Cause her baby daddy don't really care. He's not providing as he should be. She's so precious with the peer pressure. Couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter Alexis. Alexis being the luxury subdivision of Toyota. Again, in his coming lines, he refers to more hair. Now, this is him referring to hair. She had hair so long that it looked like weave. Weave being a thing many black women have. It's like a wig, kinda, but it's like not. A little hard to explain. Then she cut it all off. Now she looked like Eve. Very interesting. Eve like Adam and Eve? Eve like another Eve? I don't know anything about bald Eves. And she been dealing with some issues that you can't believe. Single black female addicted to retail and, well, Man, I promise. I'm so self-conscious. That's why you always see me with at least one of my watches. The rollies and Pashas done drove me crazy. I can't even pronounce nothing. Past that Versace. You understand $400 on this. Sorry, I got carried away. Now, take a look at what all falls down means. All falls down could be a lot of things. Emotionally, could be physically even. But in this circumstance, I believe it to be more of a symbolic way of saying that she's in a struggling position. He says, I'm so self conscious. He's in a struggling position. It falls down because it's not up. The mood ain't up. It all falls down because they aren't at the top of society. They have fallen down. They aren't doing as well as they would like. They may be at negative mental states. Not as in mentally unhealthy, but still just, you know, not doing as good as they would like. Maybe even a little depressed about it. Now, he mentions in the previous lines that he is so self conscious. Rollies and Pashas done drove me crazy. I can't even pronounce nothing past that Versace. And then he mentions his large spendings, people talking negatively about his large spendings, and him being recognized by various people, them thinking he's living well. But really, he's got the lowest self esteem. The prettiest people do the ugliest things, referring to the disgust you may take from people in larger, richer industries, like Hollywood. P. Diddy, a famous musician, recently was not charged with many, many things involving diddling children. What? Yes. Which is interesting. The prettiest people do the ugliest things. The prettiest people, the appealing ones, the people that look like they're living big, the celebrities, do the ugliest things. The higher ups, the rich ones, the celebrities, go to the Diddy parties. He says, and for that paper, look how low we'll stoop. Even if you. 1 second. Even if you in a Benz, you still. And then he uses a word that for many generations has been used to attack the black populations within America and surrounding nations. A racist term developed in America, the United States of America, to hurt a population and to dehumanize them for many generations. And he says, even if you win a Benz, you are still this, what many at the time, if you use how perception would have been when this word was in frequent use by many people. you're still that lower person. You're still that nobody. You still don't matter. You're in a coop. Nobody cares about you. So even if you're rich, as long as you're black, nobody cares. Go bake some cotton. No, I shouldn't. Anyway, when it falls down, who you gonna call now? In this circumstance, after the previous context, he's saying, well, you could interpret it as him saying, when you lose your wealth, who are you gonna call now? Again, he's referring to his internal emotional state in this last line that we heard. And he says, I say fuck the police. That's how I treat 'em. We buy our way out of jail, but we can't buy freedom. We buy a lot of clothes, but we don't really need 'em. Things we buy to cover up what's inside. And this next line, 'cause they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why shotties holler where the ball is at. Drug dealers buy Jordans, but crackheads buy crack. And the white man get paid off for all of that. Those lines, in particular, highlight racism in the society, in the picture that he's painting for us. He's saying that he doesn't like the police, and he treats them like that, which lands him in jail, which he can buy his way out of, a bail, you know. But he can't buy freedom. You can never buy freedom, which alludes again to slaves in America. They had no freedom. He's referring to, he says the white man get paid off for all that. So he's clearly referring in a racial sense. And he also says up here, you still, again, you know, I've already explained, in a coop. So again, he says you can't buy freedom, which means even after all the history, nobody is truly free. We'll buy a lot of clothes, but we don't really need them. Again, spending money on yourself to feel something. Things we buy to cover up what's inside. Again, emphasizing that previous sentiment. You know, they buy these things. People buy these things. People with money buy these things. Really, because they feel empty. So they try and fill their closet, their houses, their mansions. But, they can't. They can never truly. Because you release another album. What do you get? A few extra dollars. But he could already buy the Hellcat, the Jordans. I don't know what else black people buy. He could already buy all those things. He could buy the Rollies. He could buy as many Hellcats as he wanted, but he still feels empty. Because really, when you live with it every day, you get used to it. And then you just think to yourself, damn, I've come so far. And the next day you think, damn, I've come so far. But then the next month you think, damn, last month I was standing exactly where I'm standing. Right here, right then. But I was in the exact same spot. My net worth may have been higher. So, really, he didn't get better. And improvement is always the goal. He's saying there's been history making people hate themselves and appreciate other people's wealth, wells, monies. He says that's why Shorty's Hollow where the ball is at, because these women are looking for the rich ones. Drug dealer by Jordans, crackhead by crack. Again, this is showing the drug dealer selling crack goes and buys Jordans. The crackhead goes and buys crack. The crackhead couldn't buy the Jordans. But if the crackhead didn't buy the crack, maybe the crackhead could have bought Jordans. Maybe. Maybe spend better. Crackhead. And the white man get paid off for all of that. So people struggling. But the rich white man gets paid. Because when you buy a pair of Jordans, that goes into the company, into the organizations, into the white man's pockets. Now, saying this as a white man, are you implying that crackheads can't be white? Cause I know a man. I know a guy. Same with drug dealers. I know a guy. Ow, I just hit my hand on my desk. Anyway, yeah. I do know a guy. Anyway, yeah. Interesting. And I think it does reflect a lot of America. Again, all that's just reiterating failures he's had and things maybe he's not proud of. He won't get specific because, he doesn't feel comfortable getting specific. He talks about this. I got a spending problem before I get it. He's thinking, oh, I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna buy those Jordans. I'm gonna buy that. We all know a restaurant I'm thinking of. I'm gonna buy that, but really, it's all. He's got a spending problem. So we're all self-conscious. He's just the first to admit it. And in this song, he is. He says that she is self-conscious. And then goes on to mention that he is self-conscious. She never admit. Only he did. And he pointed out that she is too. Just reiterating. Now, Selena, you just like a safe belt. You saved my life. What is he talking about? He's talking about a car crash, a car accident again. A plate put in his jaw. He was in a traumatic car accident. And he's saying the safe belt. Seat belt. I don't even remember what it's called. Is it called the seatbelt? Put your seatbelt on. Yeah, it's called the seatbelt. He's saying that saved him. And that she saved him. Just like this seatbelt did. Safe belt. He's not saying seatbelt now, is he? No, because it may have another meaning. You gotta dig deep. I'm telling you what, it all falls down. Us can't keep working like this. This grave shit is like a slave ship. Thank you for joining me today.